Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Indigo Speaks. Indigo Shy back at show with another episode. I know y'all like this girl's in the same clothes from yesterday and is. I told you yesterday I had 2 videos for y'all. This is the second video. And I kind of started this video earlier. I meant to make it before work and never did. And I was just like, alright, sis, you're going to do it when you get off. And that's what made me start like, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, I gotta record. I was like, let me go talk to my camera real quick. And I didn't get a chance to do it before work. So I'm like, bet. And that's what got me back in. So thank you, Random Thought of Creativity, to get me back into the channel. Like I said in the last video, thank you for everyone who has supported me through the busy month of September. So now going into October, I did want to talk. And y'all know I always speak about things that I'm going through personally, whatever. But I do want to say, I want the topic to be more about normalization. And I think the things that we should normalize as a generation, like as a culture, as a society, where we should move to start normalizing things that weren't necessarily normalized before, normalizing different mindsets, denormalizing certain mindsets that are no longer, that are toxic towards us, that are no longer benefiting us and helping us grow into ascend, because as everyone knows, well, as everyone who's watched my videos, you guys may understand that we're moving, we're ascending, we're always moving up. I had a conversation with my boyfriend the other day and told him, I was like, I'm in the 4D. I don't exist in 3D. Like, I'm not in the 3D. I don't exist in the 3D because everything that I feel is more intense, is like, it's the 4D. If you don't understand it, do your little research, and if not, I would definitely come into it more just to kind of get people to understand that more. However, I just wanted to talk about like what we things that we want to normalize. One of the biggest things that popped in my head is normalizing talking about, and this might be, I'm like, oh my god, this is not a spiritual video. It is still a spiritual video because I feel like it feeds into a lot of the things that we need as people. I feel as though we need to normalize speaking about people who we are no longer in contact with, that we are no longer in relationships with, but in a healthy manner. I mean, have you ever had that person where it's like you go to talk about your ex, and that person automatically assumes that since you're bringing up this person, you are still deeply in love with them, you have all these feelings towards them, and I use the ex because it's the most understanding example. Like, everyone can relate to this example for the most part. Why can't we normalize the fact that people are able to talk about exes, are able to talk about people who are in their lives in the past in a healthy way? Like, a part of change, a part of moving on is reflection. But if I can't sit back and reflect and talk about this person in past moments and past memories about this person without someone going, oh, she's still in love with him or her, whatever your preference may be, like, that's very aggravating. You can imagine spending X amount of time with somebody, especially in very influential years and very formative years. You're spending a lot of time with somebody, and then you no longer having that person in your life. And when you spend that time with that person, a lot of daily things remind you of that person, and not feeling like you can speak on them without it going, oh my god, you're still madly in love. Like, no, maybe this thing just genuinely reminds me of somebody, and I have to feel that emotion feel that through. I may not still feel the same about that person. However, if something has reminded me of that person, I am reminiscing on a past time, but acknowledging how I feel now and reflecting. I feel like I keep looking because there's this little girl who keeps crossing the street looking at me. But yes, I feel like there is nothing wrong with reflection, with sitting down and wanting to reflect on who we are as people, on who we were as people, how we have changed, how our past relationships have changed with other people. You cannot move forward if you don't reflect. You have no idea how far you have come with relationships with yourself, with other people, anything of that nature, your choices, anything of that, until you sit back and you reflect. So we need to normalize reflection. Normalize not looking back in the past and going, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, but looking back and realizing how far we've grown, how far we've come. Can we normalize us being proud of ourselves and it not being like, oh, she being prideful, oh, she boasting, oh, she this? No. I'm not being prideful, but I'm being proud because the person that I was even 4 months ago is nowhere near the person that I am now, and I am proud of that person. So can we normalize ourselves being proud? And if if you do find any issues with that, I do have a video of why it's important to be proud. Like, don't be a prideful person, but it is important to have pride and be proud of yourself. That I will say. What else did I want to normalize? Oh, this one feels weird. I'm sorry, I'm feeling my rock. It feels weird right here. But I also did want to normalize. I apologize. Change. I was like, normalize change. Normalize changing. Normalizing the fact that people have no freaking obligation to be who you want them to be. This is part of one of those videos that I did not upload last week that I'm going to touch on here. People have no obligation. No, not none whatsoever to be who you want them to be. Yes, I'm screaming at you because I'm talking to myself too. Make sure y'all hear it, I hear it, Spirit hears it, everybody hears it. There's no misunderstanding. No one has an obligation to be who you want them to be. No one has an obligation to stick up to your standards. No one has the obligation to stick to your expectations and how you want somebody to act, how you perceive somebody. You cannot make someone see something how you perceive it. We have to normalize that. Can we normalize the fact that everyone is fucking different? We are all one and the same, and normalizing our differences. That not everybody has to see eye to eye on everything, but it's understanding. Just because you understand something does not mean that you accept it. It's the difference between understanding and accepting. I don't think people understand. And that, I don't think people even understand that. We have so many things as far as sexuality, race, stuff of that nature. People just always wanted to fuss and bicker and fight over the little parts and religion and this. Why? Why can't we just understand that people are different? We are different, unique souls here, but we are all still one and the same in many senses, and embrace the fact that we are different. Embrace the fact that we are unique. Understand people, because when you actually go to understand people, that makes it a lot better than when you're not trying to understand. You don't have to accept what somebody does. Understand why they do it, because when you understand somebody, it saves a lot of arguments. It does. It saves a lot of cans of worms from being open that don't have to be open. It helps a lot when you sit back and you truly go to understand people for who the hell they are. I spent so much time trying to make somebody see me for who I wasn't, or love me a different way, or me trying to see somebody a different way. Girl, when them glasses come off. I think I was supposed to put it in my video for last week, but I'll put it in the video for this week. I wrote a poem called When You Remove the Rose-Tinted Glasses. When you remove those rose-tinted glasses, don't try to put them back on. See what you see and keep it moving. As it happened for a reason. Like, that's just really what I gotta say to that. Like, stop trying to make people view you a certain way. Stop trying to view people a certain way. If that's not what it is what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. Like, you get what you get and don't throw a fit. And that's me working with them kids. But for real, can we normalize that? Can we normalize the fact that people are able to change, that they have the only thing that's constant is change, and it's selfish for you to hold people to those standards of, like I've mentioned before, people in high school. Just as much as they're not obligated to hold me to those same standards of the person that I was and looked like in high school, I am no longer obligated to hold them to those standards of who they were, what they look like, who they chose to act like, things like that in high school. Why? That's like somebody treating like the person I was 4 months ago. That's ignorant. I'm not that person anymore. So don't treat other people like that. Just because people have the ability to change. Take that in. Assess that. That's just how I feel about it. Assess the fact that people can change, that people are able to be different. Don't just keep letting people back in your life all willy-nilly, but understand that people aren't always going to be the same person that you left them as. They either got better or they got worse. Some people stay the same. But hey, if you stay the same, it's just getting worse. It's not really staying the same, because the only thing is up from here. So if you're not progressing, you're going backwards. If you're not progressing, you're going backwards. There is no staying the same. You feel me? Like, be honest, like, we need to normalize change. Normalize breaking certain cycles, things that are hurting you. Normalize speaking on feelings and things that hurt, and not allowing them to persist anymore, to prevail anymore into your life. Normalizing doing things that make you happy, and basically stuff that that are steps that you're taking for the future, and realizing that not everyone may agree with it, but it's not for everyone to agree with it. If your life was for everyone to live, it wouldn't be your life. Okay? But I love everybody. I was just saying that because I'm going through like some changes, planning on moving, stuff of that nature. And it's just, with doing that and becoming an adult and realizing I have to start making certain adult decisions, it's separating that adult me from like who family and friends perceive me to be as and want me to be. And like normalizing that I can stand my ground, I can be who I want to be, and I don't have to stick to their standards. And that's fine. Completely fine. But peace, love, and light to you all. Please look for the daily takeaways, the writing challenge, and then the affirmations all in the description below, along with my 2 business Instagrams, my personal Instagram, which you can reach out to and DM me if you maybe had any questions or anything, or just wanted to talk. You can also always send in your responses to any writing prompts or anything, because I would love to post them in the video, talk about them in the video, things of that nature. I love everybody. I really do. Peace, love, and light to you all. My website is down there too. I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go get some food and go in the house and wash clothes, relax, unwind from the trip. Back and yeah. And I'll catch you guys next week. Look out for the 7-day detox that I will be doing. I will also mention the herb shop that I get my herbs and crystals and stuff like that from in the description below for the detox challenge, because I love her for that. But as y'all can see, I rub my eyes. I'm digging. I'm being childish. I'm tired. My voice got really low. I feel like that message was like it took the energy it needed to take and it's gone. So like I'm cool for now. But yes, peace, love, and light to you all. Wow. Hope everyone has a great, great, great weekend. Bye.
When I removed the rose-tinted glasses. When I removed the rose-tinted glasses, I began to see your true colors. My eyes were deceiving me, were my thoughts exactly, reminiscing on the past week, trying to make my perception of you last, wondering how it all went wrong so fast, only hurting myself more as the time passed. I realized it wasn't all peaches and creams, remembering all the fights and screams, all the times I spent on deciphering what we mean. Wishing you were the person of my dreams, trying to make you view me as a queen. When I removed those rose-tinted glasses, I began to love me, to treat myself as a queen, shifting all of my energy to build something pure. Something more than just love, no longer blocking my blessings I'm receiving from above.